Hey everybody. See if my stuff's working here. I got my coffee ready and I was going to chat with you all today, kind of continuing what we've been talking about this week in several different videos. A little bit of a behind the scenes type thing, sharing some information and some truths and just some ideas that come to my mind that some people may not know that have to do with having an art business, an online art business. Hi, Vanessa. So today I'm going to talk about 3 things that I recommend that you not do if you're trying to start a business online as an artist. And these are all, of course, things that I did, that I learned from, that I wanted to share with you, and just make sure that you don't repeat and do the same things that I did. So, hi, Kim. First of all, there are lots and lots and lots of things that are online that are helpful to you if you're trying to start a business, if you're looking for ideas, if you're looking for a business coach or training or a course or whatever. But there are so many things out there that if you listen to them all, if you try to do all of the things that all of the people are telling you to do, then you're going to get very overwhelmed very quickly. So that's what I'm going to start with. Number 1, don't sign up for every free business training idea that's out there. There are a lot of good coaches. There are a lot of good books. There are a lot of good podcasts. There are tons and tons of people who are helpful and who have experience and know what they're talking about. But your brain can't comprehend everything that everybody has to say. So, what do? First of all, you need to make sure that the people that you're listening to are legitimate. Go to their Facebook page. If they're trying to sell you something, let's say, if they're trying to sell you some sort of training that is going to help you build your Facebook following, and you go to their Facebook page and they only have 100 people following them, then that's probably not the best person to take that advice from, right? So do your homework. And before what's going to happen is, this is what has happened to me before. You're scrolling on Facebook, especially Facebook, sometimes Instagram, sometimes Pinterest. You're looking around and an ad's going to pop up, and it's going to be, most of the time, a business person who is trying to get your attention by talking about whatever it is that they specialize in. So if they are talking about something that has nothing to do with what you normally would want to do in your business, if they're trying to help you with something that is not related to the things that you're working on right now, just don't click on it. Don't put your email address in there. Don't sign up for all the freebies, because you're going to get overwhelmed by all of those emails that come to you. Because when you're doing email marketing, most of the time you're going to send out a lot of emails. And so if you have signed up for something that someone thinks you're interested in because you gave them your email address, they're going to send you lots and lots of emails. And it's very easy to get overwhelmed by all of that information. It may be good information, and it may be stuff that could help you later when you get to a point where you can handle all of that. But you need to take baby steps, and you need to just choose one little section of your business at a time that you're working on. So, for example, my daughter is thinking about doing some online business type things. And I didn't realize it, but trying to talk her through, helping her figure out where to begin, she's completely overwhelmed right now because she has a whole list of things that she knows she needs to do and things that I've told her that she needs to do. But it's like, where do you start? What's the first thing that you do? I don't know where to begin. So you're going to have to write down what you need to work on right now. And don't sign up for all of the free things that are out there in the beginning, because it's going to overwhelm you and confuse you, and you're not going to know where to start. So the advice I gave my daughter was, make your list and then choose one thing, the most important thing that's on your list that you need to get going first, and just focus on that one thing. So this is my list of 3 things. That's the first one. Don't sign up for every free thing that every coach on the internet has. You just need to start at the beginning, move forward from where you are. Okay? Another thing is kind of a piggyback to that, and a little bit from what we were talking about yesterday. And that's, don't listen to and compare numbers. And when I say numbers, I mean followers, amounts of money that people are talking about that they're making, number of things that they have sold, whether or not something has sold out in a certain number of days. All those numbers, this set of numbers, this group of numbers that we're going to talk about right here, they don't always show the truth. So one thing especially that I've been caught up with and has bothered me is I may release something that's new that I have to offer, and what I would think would happen may not happen, as far as I may sell a lot of something, or I may not sell very many at all, or you never know what's going to happen when you open the doors on a class, or you offer your paintings, or you start selling prints, or whatever it is that you may be doing. You don't know what's going to happen. And what does happen that can really cause you some problems, and it may not even be that you're trying to be, you're not really trying to compare what you're doing or not doing to someone else, but if you're on social media and you're watching other people, or you're seeing ads from other people, and they say things like, I just launched a course and I made so and so, I'll just make up a number, I made $20,000 in the first 24 hours. I haven't seen anybody say that, but I'm just making this up as an example. So that's an expectation now that I have. Okay, if that person they must have some kind of system or way of doing things that has helped them to launch something. So that's what you call it. You launch it. That means you start it, you open it up, you get it going, whatever. They've opened up some kind of class and they made $20,000 in 24 hours. So what am I missing? Because I'm not doing that. I'm not opening something up and making $20,000 in 24 hours. So what am I doing wrong? That's the thinking that happens when you start looking at these numbers and you're looking at them in the wrong way. Because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know, like some of these videos that I've been doing lately where I'm talking to you about what's really happening. You don't know how much that person may have spent in Facebook ads. They may have made $20,000 in 24 hours. But what if they spent $15,000 in Facebook ads? So you can't really look at that and think that you're doing something wrong, or you're missing something, or there's something that makes your business lesser than because you're not making $20,000 in 24 hours. So, especially as an artist, and an introverted artist, a quiet-minded person, I'm not gonna I'm not going to put myself in situations that make me uncomfortable. I mean, I will to a certain point, but I have boundaries online and, well, in general. And I know what my limits are, and I know what I can do, and I know what my financial limits are too. So, in the beginning, when I first started doing this, hi Linda, when I first started doing this, I was looking at all those numbers. I was looking at this person has 1 million followers. How did they do that? And what am I missing? Why don't I have that many followers? What's the trick? What's the thing that I need to do? What do I need to add? A lot of ads, especially for business coaches, will tell you, like their highlight stories from the people that are in their program or whatever that has done something that is exceptional. So the results of whatever that person did may not be the common theme, you know. So it may be something that's above and beyond, and it also may be something that is not really showing the whole truth. Not that people are not being honest, that's not what I'm saying. But just because someone says, I'm making 6 figures now selling my pottery on Facebook or whatever, that's great. But how much money are you making? How much money are you actually putting in your bank account? Because there are a lot of expenses. If you are self-employed, you have to pay a lot of taxes on that money that you make. And if you are an entrepreneur, or if you are selling things online, if you are an artist and you're selling your own work, then you have to pay self-employment tax. So, and sales tax, and so many other things. You have different kinds of bills for having your website. You have bills for your email list. If you have an email list, then if you get to a certain number of email subscribers, then you get charged for sending out those emails to your customers. There are just a lot of hidden expenses that you may not know about and that you may not realize are there. So looking at numbers, numbers of people's followers, numbers of when they're telling you amounts of money that they're making, when they're talking about how many things they've sold, those kinds of things, the things that make me feel icky, honestly, when I'm looking at something, just don't pay attention to that because you don't know all of the details. And it's very easy for it to discourage you. And you need to keep in mind that you don't know how much money they're having to spend to be able to say that they can make that much money with one launch or in 1 year or whatever they're saying. And like I said, I'm not saying that they're being dishonest. I'm not saying that that's not really happening. I'm just saying that this online business thing, it takes a lot of hard work. And there are a lot of expenses. And it's just like any other business that you run, any other job that you have. It's not something that you can just put in place and then sit back and eat bonbons and watch TV and not really work on anything, because I work every day. I used to work 7 days a week. I've made myself start taking Saturdays and Sundays off, but sometimes I still do some things on Saturdays, and sometimes I still may send out an email on Sunday night. But it's not as easy as some people make it sound. So just ignore those numbers. Okay, we'll go back over number 1. Do not sign up for every single freebie that all of the coaches have. Just pick the ones that are relevant to what you need right now and do that. Number 2, don't pay attention to all of the numbers. How many followers people have, how much money they're saying they're making. If someone's throwing all those numbers in your face like that, it's just going to make you feel badly about what you have accomplished instead of thinking, you may think good for them, that's great, but it's also going to put that little seed of doubt in your mind that you're not doing something right and you've got to figure out what it is. And it makes you feel like you're in a state of emergency all the time because something is wrong and your business is not working and you can't figure it out and you don't know why this and why that. Just don't pay attention to the other people. Just put your head down and work on what you know you need to work on. And number 3, keep up with your numbers. Keep up with your sales. Find a way to either log that in a journal or do something like a file on your computer or whatever it needs to be so that you keep up with where you've been in the past and the progress that you're making over time. Because you are going to make progress. If you're really working on it and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you don't quit, then you are going to make progress. But you're not going to be able to see what that progress is if you don't write it down. You're not going to remember how many Facebook followers you had 10 years ago if you don't write it down, or 2 months ago, or 10 days ago. So keep record of your followers. Keep record of anything positive that someone says, sends you a note, comments on something that you've posted. Keep all of those things so that when you have days where you are having problems with the comparisons and you are thinking, what am I doing wrong because I'm not making the money that so-and-so is making or saying that they're making? Or I didn't sell out of all of the things that I just put in my shop like so-and-so does when she posts all of her things. If you'll keep track of the progress that you're making, then it will help you to look back and see, okay, I'm doing a good job. I am moving forward. I am making progress. And this is okay. I'm doing okay. Because it's so easy, it's so easy to get caught up in the whole, the 6-figure thing is such, I may get some flack for this, I don't know, but I'm so tired of hearing people say that. Talking about, I just launched so-and-so, and I just made 6 figures in so many hours. Or this is my client so-and-so, and they just released their first whatever and made 6 figures in 24 hours. Okay, that's great. But how much money did they have to spend in order to get those 6 figures, Just like anything else, if something sounds like it's too good to be true, then it usually is. People that I know that have successful online businesses who are making full-time pay did not do that in 24 hours. It's possible that they may have opened up some sort of group or training or something like that and got a lot of sales in 24 hours. But how many years had they been working to build up their audience, to build up their customers, to build up to the point where they could do that? That is the point. You don't know what all's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what all has happened in the past 2 years or 10 years or however many years they've been working toward that goal. So when you see somebody pop up on the scene all of a sudden and they're selling books like crazy, or now they're on stage and they're speaking somewhere and you had never heard of them before, and it looks like they've just done something overnight, that's not how it happens. Most of the time, those people have been working and maybe failed several times, or something that they have done has been refused several times before they got to the point where it actually worked out for them. So if you see an ad, if you see promises, if you see things that look too good to be true, then they probably are. So, all that to say, don't sign up for everything that is available that is free. Don't look at all the numbers that everybody's throwing in your face constantly on social media, and keep track of your own progress so that you can look back and see what you have done. And I'm not even really talking about just money, because even though you're running a business, there's a lot more to it than that. You may not be making a lot of money yet, but what kind of progress have you made? Do you now have a website? That's progress. Have you started offering something new that you've never done before? That's progress. It takes years and steps and determination and hard work to get to a point where you have a business that is sustainable and it's gonna last, and you're gonna be able to keep going at the rate that you're going. Okay, so if you have a business, let's say, that made $20,000 in 24 hours, like the crazy idea that I just made up, then what are you going to do next week? Because it's not very likely that you're going to be able to do that same thing again next week. And what kind of work did they have to put into that to get to that point? So you don't know all of the backstory. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know how much money they've had to put into something. So that's really been bothering me lately, because I know that there are a lot of new artists that are in some of my groups that get discouraged and get frustrated because they feel like, and I've been here too, I've had to try to figure this out for myself. But when you see other people somewhat boasting about the amount of money they're making, but they're not telling you that that is their gross income and not what their net income is, then it can make you wonder, what am I doing wrong? How do I do that? But you just got to be aware, and knowing these things will help you to kind of push through and not get so frustrated and so discouraged that you just quit. Because that's one of the things in my business tribe that I'm trying to really work on with my, I've got founding members right now who are just my beginning members. But we're trying to come at this whole business thing from a different angle. And if you're going to build something that's going to last, you've got to be able to continue to do whatever it is that you're doing for the long run. So if you're working 24 hours a day on something 7 days a week, you're not going to be able to keep doing that for a really long time. And if you are constantly being distracted by emails from people or from ads on Facebook, and scrounging around trying to figure out, what do I need to do next? How can I change what I'm doing so that it works better? Because I want to be able to make $20,000 in 24 hours too. Then you're not going to be able to move forward and keep that momentum and keep that sustainability going. And you begin focusing on the negative side of things and not the positive side. So in my business tribe, I'm trying to really help everyone to slow down, work on one thing at a time, and not get overwhelmed by all of the things that are out there, because I know how hard it is to weed through all of that and figure out, what do I need to do? What is important? What should be done first? So those are the three things that I could think of that I would definitely say stay away from if you're trying to get started, and I think it would help you. It would help you a whole lot. Let's see what your comments are. Tammy said, all such sound advice. Thank you. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Diane. Rhonda said, then your focus becomes money and not creating. That's exactly right. Tammy's talking about the cost of their overhead. Yes, there are lots and lots and lots of expenses that people just do not talk about. Diane said she was impressed by an artist, and he got $5,000 for a painting. Let's see. Arnie says, thank you for breaking it down slowly but surely, making baby steps and moving forward here. And Rhonda said, this makes so much more sense than what I've been hearing lately. Yeah. I'm having to go through and try to honestly unfollow people that I've followed in the past, because Facebook, you know, they kind of know what you look at. And so if I've looked at business groups or business coaches and business pages in the past, then that's the things they're going to show me most of the time. And I can't watch any of that anymore, y'all. I can't handle it. It's stressing me out. So I've had to just go and unfollow. And I know where the information is that I need to get. I know where I need to go to find what I need to know. And so I don't need it thrown in my face constantly. So I've had to just kind of chill out and get rid of some of the things that were stressing me out, because that sense of urgency, I don't want to run my business from a sense of urgency. Nothing that I do is an emergency. I'm a painter. I teach. If a customer that I have has a question, they send me an email and I can answer it. But there's nothing that I do, whether it's shipping a painting, teaching a class, helping someone with their business, whatever the problem, it's not really a problem, but whatever the problem is not an emergency. And my personality and my sanity and my health cannot handle the pushiness, the urgency, the car salesman like, no offense to car salesmen, but the yelling, the high energy, the high frequency, I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but I can't handle it. And so I know that if I feel that way, that other people must feel that way too. And I don't ever want to be pushy or sound desperate for customers, or feel like there's an emergency and you have to do so and so. So, because I don't like feeling that. I don't like when other people make me feel that way. So these were just things that came to my mind that I thought would be helpful to you all. Rhonda said, me too, and they have become motivational speakers trying to get more high-dollar monthly subscriptions for the hype. Yeah, I'm not a concert person. I'm not a motivational speaker person. I don't go to all of these big events. I don't get motivated or energized by those types of things. They drain my energy. So I've learned a lot about myself, and being an introverted person, I know that if I went to some sort of conference or where a lot of speakers are going to be there may be some things that I would learn, but that would not be what is on my mind the whole time I'm there. I would be ready to get out of there. I would not be excited about being there. So, yeah, it's just a different a different personality type, I think, a different kind of angle that they're coming from, maybe, but it's not for everybody. Some people love it, but some people can't learn in that kind of environment. So what works best for me is quietness, calmness, sit down with a pencil and paper and make a list and clear my mind and get things written down, not so much in a plan that is a strict plan, but more so like, here are my goals, here's the things that I would like to do, and if it doesn't work out, it's okay, and if it does, that's okay too. If I sell this, that's okay, and if I don't, that will be fine also. But I mean, you have to be smart about things, you have to plan ahead, you have to have some things in place that will help you with your business online, but it's not an emergency. Tammy says, it really takes away from the joy of being creative when you feel that way. I hate salesy gimmicks. I know. And Marnie says she wouldn't like going to a conference either. Rhonda says, I feel like I'm being fake when I try to adopt that mindset because I'm not like that. Exactly. These videos that I've been doing this week are so therapeutic for me because for the past couple of years especially, I've felt like I've got to be something different than who I am in order to be successful at this. And it's just dawned on me recently that I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do. And most of the time, when I'm myself and I'm offering whatever it is that I'm offering with my genuine personality, using words that I would use myself, and not trying to be like somebody else that is successful online that I think I need to emulate so that I can do what they're doing. Most of the time when I am just being myself, I do a whole lot better. I'm more relaxed, I do a better job, I don't feel fake, and I don't feel like I'm hiding something. So being yourself is going to really help your business more than anything else, because that's the thing that's going to make you different. And if you try to be like everybody else, then you're just going to blend in. Diane says she agrees with Tammy about taking away the joy. So, let's see. Carla says, I've left a coaching group because she was too big and was really, in my opinion, just wanting to maintain her expensive lifestyle. So there are situations that you can get in, like I was talking about. If you join all of the freebies, or if you are watching everybody else and trying to not really compete with them, but if they're sharing numbers that sound too good to be true, and it's something that you're not doing yourself, then it makes it really hard for you to keep going. It makes it really hard for you to stay motivated and not obsess about this, because that can happen also. I really like doing what I do. And if you have an online business as an artist and you're creating things and you're helping people and you love doing it, then you're already going to feel this big pull to think about it all the time, to talk about it all the time, to plan your next thing. And if you throw in there this competition in your brain with other people who may not really even be in the exact same, I don't want to call it an industry, but doing the same thing that you're doing, but they are talking about how much money they're making, or they're talking about how many people are signing up for whatever it is they're offering, or they're talking about how many things they've sold, and it makes you feel like you're not doing something right, then that is all you're going to think about all the time. And you're going to lose your momentum to keep moving your business forward in the right direction, and you're going to get distracted and start thinking about, what am I doing wrong? So instead of being really hyper focused on how you can continue to do well the things that you're doing, you're going to be distracted and start focusing on this fake, I'm not even sure what to call it. It's like the Photoshop of online businesses. You know how everybody has talked about for the past few years how magazines and blogs and commercials, that everybody that's in the pictures have been edited and photoshopped and made to look better than they actually look? Well, this is kind of like what that feels like to me, because a lot of businesses that are online are photoshopping themselves to make what they're doing look a whole lot better than it really does. And that's just my opinion. Rhonda says, it makes me feel pressured. Exactly what I don't want. Exactly. And then you can't create. So if you're constantly worried about, what am I doing wrong? Why is this not selling? Why are people not signing up? And why can't I make $20,000 in 24 hours like Sally over here, whoever, I'm making that up? Then you are being distracted, and you're being trapped by something that is not even a reality. So just facade, that's the word I was looking for. There you go, Marnie. It's just not even reality. So don't focus on those kinds of numbers that are coming from people, those kinds of followers they may have or whatever, that is making you feel like your business is not what it should be. So I hope that this is helpful to you guys. I don't know, I may have rambled. I'm not sure if I got my point across as well as I wanted to. But like I said, these talks have really helped me, because it is making me feel like I am being more transparent. And even though I'm not I haven't necessarily done anything like said I'm making so and so dollars a year, I don't ever want it to look like what I'm doing is not hard work, and it's not something that I have spent many years trying to build up to, because it's not easy. It's not something that you can just throw together, stick it out there, and people will pay you a lot of money for. It's hard work to have an online business, and you have to kind of craft yours in a way that you know is going to work for you and your personality, and just put your head down and work on what needs to be done in your business right now, and ignore everybody else for right now. So, let's see. Marnie says it was not only helpful but inspiring. I hope so. And if you think this is something that would help other people, then please share it. Tag your friends or anyone that you think might be helped by all of this information. So those are my 3 things that I would avoid if I were you. Or actually, the last one was something that I would do. But let me see, another comment. You're welcome, Rhonda. I don't see that anybody had any questions. Let me scroll back up real quick and make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. But thank you all for commenting and being here and listening to me talk about all these topics this week, and just kind of get some of these things out there, because it's helping me. Like I said, it's kind of therapeutic, and hopefully it's going to help you too. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.